Another issue that I think needs to be addressed for many of the communities that are distressed is the amount of lacking expertise and capacity within the local government itself. It seems that there's been quite an effort to build capacity for economic revitalization, but that over the last 20 years, a lot of outcry about how to put attention into urban areas, how to revitalize our urban areas, especially the Rust Belts that have suffered tremendously. But there's a tremendous lack of capacity within those local institutions, the governments themselves, to undertake that kind of change. I've seen lots of funding resources and expertise and grants and assistance go to nonprofits and entities outside of a city hall, outside of a county government, who in there use their funding and resources to try to impact change within the local government. And I think that is probably an unwise movement, because those entities don't really have the legal backing and structure to implement change. An example of that is, only local governments can control zoning laws, only local governments can use eminent domain, only local governments get the tax dollars from the citizens that have the kind of capital you need to impact change. The not having sound expertise within City Hall in the end is really going to be a disaster situation, because you can't come up with the new ideas that you need to do to keep responding to the current economic situations and the change in the marketplace that are constantly going on with globalization. So I found that what my time in Cleveland, as working for the city of Cleveland, that though there was openness to the change, there was a general mistrust potentially of what the change might be, and that came from its lack of understanding. I think most of it was just educational or experience. They just didn't, the people within the city just didn't have the experience to understand what was being recommended or how to get themselves out of the trouble, and were basically just behaving in a risk-averse manner. So I think it behooves us to try to find ways to bring capacity to a city. And how do you get people in the city that have the outside experience and perceptions and put them into the city so that they could take advantage of all the tools that a local government has and all the legal resources and financial resources that are inherent to local government to change and hopefully impact the overall economic market for a city and make it a friendly place for business to operate.